parts of the iron fence erected around the house in East Jerusalem. His parents rented this home, hoping to spend their old age in peace here. This is the aftermath of a property seizure attempt by Jewish settlers, an effort that ultimately failed in court. In mid-September, a group of Israelis, accompanied by police and security forces, broke into the house and began constructing what looked like a security cage. They put bars on the windows, barbed wire around the perimeter, and installed CCTV cameras. They claimed they were preparing it for the new owners.
We went to see what was happening when we found settlers and police who'd broken down the first and second doors and were putting up iron bars and fencing. They wouldn't let us get close. We asked them, "What's going on here? Why are you involved?" They started telling us, "We took the house. We can't give you any details. It's confidential. We can't share any information about it."
The home's owner, Ibtisam, lives next door. She rented the property to Mohammed's parents and says that whoever sold the house to the settlers was part of a scam.
This is my father's house. I was raised here with my mother and I inherited it from my father. I've never left this house.
Everybody in the area knew where this was heading. Some residents of this predominantly Arab neighborhood have already lost their properties or land to Jewish settlers or the Israeli state. Mohammed's uncle, who lives down the road, has been displaced. The legal battle over his house has been ongoing for 2 years, with the courts repeatedly postponing a decision. In the meantime, the rightful owners do not legally have access to the house, which remains occupied by a Jewish family. The same fate awaited Ibtisam's home.
They broke the old lock and installed a new lock for themselves. Then they put this to secure it, placed a metal bar and drilled it into the wall so that the whole door is held tight. Then they put this and added something like this to ensure it stays shut. This is the metal bar that sits here. This is how they lock it from here. With this setup, it doesn't move, it's firmly in place. We can't open the door.
Once the area was secured, a Jewish family with children moved in. Neighbors say they had never seen them before. Here, they're captured on a rare piece of video. They arrived with an array of personal belongings, perhaps to establish a sense of residency for authorities. The house now looks like they've been there much longer than just a few nights, with family photos on display, kids' achievement certificates, and cheerful notes on the fridge. There is even a certificate for a firearms training course. The morning after the takeover, the owner contacted her lawyer, who promptly filed a lawsuit.
I was shocked. I didn't expect this to happen. I never expected it. No, I wasn't confident. No, because it's difficult with the Israelis to get it back, but thank God we managed to.
It took 3 hearings for an Israeli court to rule in favor of the Arab owner. The Jewish family vacated the property, leaving behind their belongings, using them as a pretext to delay the execution of the verdict. The court rejected this request.
This interpretation of vacating the apartment as only removing people and not belongings is not acceptable. Although the respondent stated in their notice that they vacated the apartment, the court should not have assumed that the respondent left belongings in the apartment without any notification to that effect.
The court decision sparked celebrations. In this footage, the head of the Jewish family is seen next to the house he failed to take over. It was his last visit to the area, once again accompanied by Israeli forces.
We're not like them, scared because they're thieves and criminals. They build themselves a prison because they know it's not theirs, yes. They're scared because they're thieves. They stole the house and are afraid someone will do something to them. Thieves.
Ibtisam's house is in East Jerusalem, in a neighborhood that overlooks the old city and the Temple Mount, which holds sacred significance for Jews. Locals believe this is the driving force behind the ongoing attempts by settler organizations supported by the state to make the area predominantly Jewish. Arab residents refer to it as a targeted area.
This area is targeted due to its strategic and ideological significance.
Because they don't want us here, they want to be here. They're ready to bring from the United States a lot of money to give you, just to take it.
Ahmad, who now rents Ibtisam's house, lost his own home due to what he describes as an Israeli policy of Judaization. The authorities refused to issue a construction permit unless Ahmad sold the house or allowed settlers to live in part of it. Ahmad chose demolition instead.
In Ukraine, one time they want to give me a restaurant, villa, sayara, $2 million to give this land to go to Ukraine before the war in Ukraine.
They exert financial pressure on you or threaten you. Then they make offers, saying they'll preserve the house, even offering to build 4 more floors above it, if occupied by Jewish people. They offered me the ground floor. I refused. And if I sold it, they wouldn't let me settle there and would eventually kick me out of the house.
The family didn't know their rented property would also become the center of a fierce struggle. Now, after the legal victory, the father and son take turns sleeping in the house, fearing that the empty property could be lost to Jewish occupiers again, working to turn what now feels like a prison back into home.
As soon as the Palestinian family completes the removal of metal security cage surrounding their house, they will be ready to move in and begin their new chapter, hoping to live here happily ever after, or until Jewish settlers or groups representing them find another way to make the life of Arab residents harder. Marie Fenoshina, RT.